Maybe Ted can bring us new music. Live from your ESG. Oh, what happened?
Oh no, the music died.
Oh. From your ESG Whirlpool dishwasher, which sucks.
Oh. Way to start us off on
It's
upper.
a Business Pants Friday show here at June 2nd Lane Studios, featuring all your favorites. Are the Data Queen. That's really it, I guess. No, Jessie the Money Whisperer.
I'm back. Hello.
Yeah, Jessie's back from Norway, although she did the show yesterday because you were too busy.
And BS Man, that's
Practicing.
Matt Moscardi.
Something. What were you doing yesterday?
Oh man. So we are very actively rehearsing for we have 4 fringe shows. The Business Pants Corporate Theater starting Saturday.
That's right. Fringe.
And
Port Fringe.
it's a bit of a shit show. Let's just say.
There you go.
A bit of a shit show. All right.
Unlike today, where we have our Friday show. Are you ready for this at all? You seem...
I'm vaguely ready. Today in today's weekly wrap-up, we talk about gay chicken wars, Indian batteries. I wonder who's talking about that. Bobby Kotick is still Bobby Kotick. Oh, and the motherhood penalty. That sounds uplifting.
Oh, that sounds exhausting already.
That's a classic hit.
I know. This is like a greatest hits album.
Come on, let's get to it. Come on.
All right, let's do this thing. Who's going first? Damien, you go
Story
first.
of the week. Woohoo! I hate that music too. I hate all our music. And I hate that sound effect. I find that to
Feel free to
be
run the board,
distressing.
yeah.
You just
Remember when he
hate
called
your
us
dishwasher.
surly in pre-production?
Yeah.
He called us surly.
Yeah.
I'm not
You just
surly
hate your
towards the
dishwasher,
three of
it's
you,
fine.
though. You guys are surly co-workers. I'm surly towards the rest of the world. I'm looking for
you're
camaraderie.
surly.
You guys don't
Look,
offer it.
To any of our listeners, either on the live stream or like the podcast listeners, if you know how to fix a dishwasher, please get in touch with Damien so that we can have shows again.
Yeah, I'm right by
Please.
Woodford's Corner in Portland, Maine, so come on over. The door's open, actually. All right, here, ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Chick-fil-A enters the woke wars. Chick-fil-A.
I love this.
I mean-
I already love it. It's already the story of the week. Do we need to say anything else?
And even Fox News is asking if the culture war has gone too far because this is their beloved company, right? They're the homophobic, church-loving. They're even closed on Sundays of all things. Chick-fil-A, they have a
That makes them authentic, though, right?
sure, whatever.
Like,
Ari
they're closed on
makes people
Sunday.
hungry on Sunday. They have a DEI. Not only they have a DEI policy, they have a head of a VP of DEI, and they don't discriminate against gender affirmation, gender identity. So yeah, it's a big crap show. So Fox
They don't
News is confused.
discriminate. Oh.
On top of that, Donald Trump admits out loud that Republicans don't even know what woke means.
I think he doesn't know what it means.
Well, nobody
No,
really knows.
Nobody
Yeah,
knows.
no one's
That's
defined
true.
it.
Nobody
It
knows.
just means like shut up women, I guess. I don't know.
No, it's gays.
Gays, blacks,
Women are sort of secondary.
Well,
Jews.
right now it's gays. It's June.
Right
but
now. That's true.
It's June.
Good
It's
point, Ari.
June.
Good point.
That's true.
No, because they were mad at Miller Lite, who had a feminist commercial. So it's not just gays. All right.
But
moving on. Yeah.
they're not on the ban list. I think Miller Lite survived the ban list.
Number 2 story of the week: shareholders are saying stuff. I don't get a bill for
Anything
What kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
anything specific?
that. Okay, according to reports, this is out of a lot of different magazines, Fortune, Variety, blah blah blah, a lot of different websites. Hollywood writers who are on strike were mad at Netflix, so they told shareholders to vote against CEO pay, right? To say no on say on pay, and they are giving the union credit for voting down say on pay at Netflix. Shareholders rejected executive salaries at Netflix at the meeting this week, and I'm thinking, is this the start of something? Or I mean, Netflix is one of the few things that people pay attention to. Could this
Wait a minute.
Could this be an entry into the world where people realize that there's an alternative democracy they can vote at?
back up.
Yeah,
You're
go.
you're basically saying
I'm
that
not saying.
it's a bunch of leftist liberal writers who are the
Well,
reason say on pay
Yeah.
and not Strive Asset Management, and they're like saying no to pay everywhere. That's what you're saying?
I suppose that's what I'm saying. But this is this seems like pretty big news, I guess. It's like, are we one step closer to making this a popular thing?
Right. I like the fact that Say on Pay is on the Hollywood Reporter, for example.
Mhm.
They're writing about it. They're
Yeah.
writing letters.
Yes.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Are they writing about it because they're losing everywhere else? And you have to find something that sounds like you're
Well, they
winning.
found something, and it's going to bring
They
a lot
gotta
of
pull all the
attention.
levers.
Yeah, there's a
Do
lot
you
of
think
attention now on this.
Do you think this is just because they had Succession is over, and now we have to talk about governance somewhere else?
That's my
in
number
Hollywood?
4 story of the week. Don't jump the shark there. Well, and I will say, to Netflix's credit, they have the most horrible executive structure. They have not only have two co-CEOs who make way too much. Their former CEO is still on the board, executive chair, making way too much.
that's
So
right.
they basically pay 3 CEOs so I can watch terrible TV. So there you go. That's the number 2 story of the week. Number 3, I don't expect anyone to vote on this, but it was a light week, and I feel like I have to put this on my list. Elizabeth Holmes started her prison sentence on Tuesday.
Aw,
Yeah.
CEO Elizabeth Holmes.
that's so nice. Yeah, the audience even
She's
liked
in
it.
jail.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Really, when you think about it, it's pretty wild.
She couldn't have another kid to delay it again.
I know. It's like
2 didn't work.
she did not think that one through.
You know, to be an inmate in that jail,
What would that be like, Ari?
I would try to befriend Elizabeth
Yeah,
Holmes.
actually, there was an
For
article.
sure.
Out of the Wall Street Journal, the headline says, I like that you said that, Ari.
Uh-huh.
According to the Wall Street Journal, this isn't like, Ed's website. Some inmates are looking forward to her arrival and becoming her friend.
Ari!
Wall Street Journal
I don't know
there.
what
That's
that
weird.
says about you,
I
Ari.
don't
Not
know
great.
either.
I'd be with you. I'd probably would try to make friends with her too.
Yeah.
I
Do
mean,
you think she's gonna put on a low voice when she's in prison?
no,
Do you think
she's
she'll
Liz
have
now.
Liz
Entirely
in
new.
prison?
Or yeah,
No.
will she be Liz?
No, she's Liz
I-
now.
I think she's going to have a new personality for prison.
yeah, prison Liz.
Prison Liz.
Prison Liz.
is like prison
It'll be
Mike
a
in the
new
office.
voice.
And finally,
This could be a show. This could be a new show. If only we had writers.
that's true. Well, we have Sam Altman and his Chat GPT. And finally, the 4th story of the week that Matt alluded to. Probably the biggest ever ESG show. I can't imagine there'll be a bigger ESG show. A bigger corporate governance pop culture phenomenon than HBO's Succession. They had their
Yes.
final episode over the past weekend. I won't give any spoilers, although I'd kind of like to, because I'd like to ruin people's.
No.
Okay.
I haven't started.
Anyway,
show yet.
yeah. Oh, you haven't started the show.
I'm only on episode 1.
Oh wow, that's really riveting stuff. So
Spoil it.
the 2 people at the company that are purporting to like trying to enter into an ESG 2.0 world, like they haven't even seen, they don't care.
I mean,
I just
It's
don't watch a
very
lot of
intense.
television. I'm sorry.
Well, this is actually, you should watch this, Ari. This really does corporate governance like nobody
wait a
ever
minute, wait a
will.
minute.
Nobody ever will.
but isn't this like a doctor watching ER? Like it's like if you're a doctor, you don't need to watch ER. You basically spend the entire time picking apart what's wrong with it. We're governance data people.
Okay.
I
I don't
Do
agree.
we need to watch this?
I think doctors watch ER, don't they? What do they do when they get drunk?
no,
Okay.
they do not. They watch home
watch
decorating.
Scrubs.
They watch
shows.
Grey's Anatomy. Yeah.
oh
yeah.
God, no.
There it is. 4 stories of the week. Do you want to recap?
Yes, please.
Oh, let's recap,
Chicken,
shall we?
the Chick-fil-A maybe is killing the woke corporation wars. Even Fox News is confused. Seon Pei getting a little bit more sexy. Seon Pei rejected at Netflix because Hollywood writers are pissed. Elizabeth Holmes started her prison sentence, and the biggest corporate governance show ever, Succession, is over on HBO.
This one feels really easy to me.
Go ahead.
There's
I'm gonna
one
go with
correct answer.
Chick-fil-A because I like that they're confusing people.
Yes, and that is the one correct answer.
Well, I
So
guess,
go ahead, Jesse,
Jesse,
say
does your vote
something
matter,
else.
Jesse?
Yes,
Matter
it
at
does,
all.
Jesse.
say something.
What would your
Pick
vote
a
have been,
different
Jesse?
one.
Chick-fil-A.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was gonna vote Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it's a sweep.
You gotta,
Chick-fil-A
you gotta
is
get it
the
out
winner.
fast.
And by the
so
way-
you don't get accused of copying.
I just let Ari go first. I just kind of sit here and let the storm pass and then collect my thoughts.
By the way, I don't know why you guys are mad at Jessie, but you didn't have to lower her mic that much. I mean, I for one enjoy listening to her.
I turned her mic off
Okay.
entirely.
All right, that's it. Story of the week, very easy. The Chick-fil-A has a robust DEI policy with a VP of DEI who was a black man. Everything's going crazy.
That's it.
Come on, Ari.
Goodliest.
Cheer us up.
It's not gonna happen because it's all batteries.
Goodliest of the week.
Goodliest of the
The
week.
data queen. Come on.
Here we go. Number 1, India pauses plans to add new coal plants for 5 years. They bet on renewables and batteries.
Woohoo.
So on Wednesday, the Indian government announced that it will not consider any proposals for new coal plants for the next 5 years.
5 years.
And they will because they do this every 5 years. And I guess 5 years ago, they didn't say this.
5-year plan. Got it.
India is currently relying on coal for around 75% of its
Wow.
electricity.
I did not know that.
Whoa.
And
Wow.
yeah, it's a lot.
There's a lot of people over there. More than the people in Connecticut.
Well,
No.
it's the most populous country, but it's also the world's 3rd highest emitter. So this is a huge deal that they're saying they're taking a pause. Just like, some people want to
75%.
take a pause on AI, they're taking a pause on new coal plants
All right.
and refocusing.
You just picked this one because of the batteries bit.
Yeah, come on. Let's
I
be
didn't
honest.
even say anything about batteries.
It's in the headline.
Yeah.
All right. Well, lots of environment things this week.
Okay.
I really like this headline. Steel built the Rust Belt. Green steel could help rebuild it.
Okay.
A study by the Ohio River Valley Institute
Boo.
found that a transition, they're actually pretty progressive, a transition to green steel, which is steel manufactured using hydrogen generated with renewable energy, could grow total jobs supported by steel making in western Pennsylvania and the Ohio region by 27 to 43%, which is
It's a lot.
actually, it's a lot, and it's how many jobs are estimated to be lost.
Okay. And those are
in
good jobs,
that
too.
region.
Those aren't like
Yeah.
Dollar General jobs.
Exactly. And the steel industry generates 7.2% of all carbon emissions worldwide. So industry, steel, is really important in us trying to not die
So-
from the world being on fire.
So your second goodliest story of the week is a study. That's it. It's just a study.
It's a study
Here's
Because
that
I think we
has
knew this.
an economic promise
Okay. All right.
to
Okay.
a region of the country that is always whining about, stuff.
Spoiler.
Glad she,
Yeah. Spoiler alert. I'm not voting for that one. That's a spoiler alert.
I'm glad she picked this just to hear her defend it.
Look, I like it, Ari, but I'm not feeling any action coming out of here. But
Well, the two
This is
the
the
first
business case.
two headlines, all I heard was plans and could. That's all I heard in the first two headlines.
No, India did a thing. They're
they're
said no
pausing.
to
I guess
new
pausing is a
They
thing.
paused.
hasn't
Okay,
really
so
been a good week.
paused and could.
They're
She can
playing
only work with what
green
she
light,
has.
red light.
No, that's not true, Jesse. What else you got,
Well,
Ari?
You guys are definitely not going to like my third headline.
I might.
U.S. Congress averts historic default, approves
Yeah.
debt limit suspension.
That
That is
fair.
good list.
Congress needed to act by June 5th. It is June 2nd today, right?
Wow.
Is today June 2nd?
Yes.
Well, anyway, yesterday the Senate approved the bill that had been passed on Wednesday by the House. I'm still doing green light, red light with my arms.
Good.
Um,
Practicing to be a mother.
all is good in the hood, and
Right, I suppose.
no default.
That's not in the production
so,
notes.
Yay!
Oh, it is.
Oh boy, someone better vote first. I'm not feeling
Oh my
it. I'm not
God.
feeling. I want Jesse.
No.
I want Jesse to talk me into something.
I just can't believe that you didn't think that India, the 3rd largest emitter in the world, saying no new coal plants is not a big
Well,
deal.
I would like to know what their plans are to replace that 75%. I don't really. The pause sounds
renewables.
right, but are they targeting the coal, the existing coal, or they're just not building new coal? I can't really figure
They're
it all out.
not building new coal.
Okay.
They are currently not targeting existing coal. They are targeting new renewables to, and this is a wide range.
To replace coal? Because they're not.
So
they're not promising to
energy-
wind down operations of existing coal plants.
Correct.
That's a problem.
Because their energy demand is going to keep growing.
Well, just stop
So
demanding
they
energy.
need to stop having babies.
Hand out
India.
condoms. Yeah, thank
Stop
you.
trying to bring electricity to homes that currently don't have any.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll vote.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Jesse,
vote.
talk me into something. I'm not feeling it.
I'm voting the debt ceiling. I'm not really going to
Yes,
talk you into it.
that
Oh.
I'm
is
just going to
correct.
vote
That
it.
is the
Why?
correct vote.
Why,
I don't-
Matt?
Because I'm
Yeah.
scared what would have happened if they didn't. I've
Right.
been hearing some financial analysts say some scary stuff, so I'm just like, ugh. Glad
Why
we
does
don't
Jesse
have to
sound
deal
like
with
she's in a
that.
tissue box today? What?
I don't know.
It probably has
Oh,
something
no.
to do with the fact that I can't actually hear. I can only hear Damien and not you guys.
That's a good start. Are you still in Norway? I don't actually see you. Matt, why the debt deal? Why is that so good?
Because the
Now
hard,
everybody can shut up about it.
the hard
Is
right,
that right?
yeah,
That, okay, I vote for that.
yeah. First of all, the hard right Republicans, the conservatives, who were happy to like throw the global financial system into
Mhm.
total chaos to make a point, lost. Kevin McCarthy's probably going to get ousted as speaker
Like
because
that.
they gave themselves that out.
Fair protection.
And everyone's saying that this is actually a Biden win somehow.
Well, I mean, look, this is the ongoing farce of it all. Is that Biden seems to be good at a lot of stuff, but he gets recognized for none of it.
yeah, he
Just
actually
because
seems to
he's
be
old.
good at this.
That's it. Just because he's old.
Yeah,
But
or
yeah, it does
ageist.
seem like a win for
Well,
Biden. This one.
I'm a
Yeah,
little
all right.
okay with it.
Another boring, clean sweep.
And
Goodliest of the week. U.S. Congress
Don't
reverts
worry.
historic default.
I will make
Apologies.
the asshole of the week is going to be another clean sweep. Are you
Really?
ready? Yes, I am
A
guaranteeing.
promise. I like this.
This is the fastest show for
Good.
Fridays we've ever done. All right, we got 3 assholes for you to choose from this
Ooh.
week. First up, thank you, Mark, for coming
Which
back
Mark?
to us.
Which Mark?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh.
Here's the headline: Meta just threatened to block news on Facebook and
Oh,
Instagram if
good.
California's journalism bill passes.
Do it. I love it.
Don't threaten.
This
Do
is
it.
great.
Do it, you asshole.
Block your
This
whole
is-
system. Block your whole company.
Also, Meta
Yeah.
didn't threaten. Mark threatened.
Oh.
The
Thank you.
headline
Thank you.
says
Thank
Meta
you.
threatened to
Fix
block
that.
news on Facebook and Instagram. It should read Mark threatened
Mm-hmm.
to block news on Mark and Mark if California's journalism bill passes.
It is,
okay.
What is this journalism bill? I haven't heard of it at all.
So the bill is set up to pay
Oh,
news
no.
organizations
Oh.
for news that gets sent out on Facebook.
So
Oh.
socialist.
So it's the same bill that passed in Australia. Zuckerberg's been fighting with
Threatened them
Australia
too.
ever since.
Mhm.
Threatened them too. But this is his playbook. This is the asshole playbook.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, fine. We'll just pull out. We're just not going to let you see any news then. And they're threatening to shut it down
Sounds great.
everywhere. It's like, do it.
People
do it.
don't
Thank you.
don't rely on Facebook and Instagram anyway for your news. I mean, what are we doing here?
So that's asshole
Come to
number one.
us.
Well, welcome back, Mark.
Come to
I
our new
missed you.
platform. When's
I
our,
missed
when's our platform due to drop, Matt?
June 18th.
Come to
is
our
is
platform
our
for
date.
news. Don't go to Facebook.
But I just like that Mark Zuckerberg's back in contention for asshole of the week. It's been a while.
He's also releasing some.
Shredded Mark is back.
shredded Mark.
Isn't he
Yeah,
releasing
didn't
some
listen to
like
the show
augmented reality goggles this week or something like that?
Hey,
VR
Yeah.
headset.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
yesterday.
Is that
I
is
guess
that
you just
coming?
Front run. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's coming.
Another spoiler.
Um,
Another spoiler.
All right. Number 2 asshole of the week. Thank you, Bobby,
Oh.
for coming back to
This
us.
is the worst. This is the worst.
Here's the headline: Bobby Kotick breaks his silence. Embattled Activision CEO addresses toxic workforce claims as Microsoft deal hangs in the balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Here's
he
some
brought back Embattled.
embattled. Yes, he's embattled. We haven't seen embattled in a headline in
No,
a
it's
while.
been a while.
Bobby hasn't been to
I
headline
missed
in a
it.
while.
So we've got Mark back. We got Bobby back. Here's a quote from Bobby. We've had every possible form of investigation
I wonder
done,
why,
and
yeah.
we did not have a systemic issue with harassment ever.
Mhm.
We didn't have any of what were mischaracterizations reported in the media.
Mm-hmm.
But what we did have was a very aggressive labor movement.
He blamed
working
labor.
hard
He did it.
to try and destabilize the company. In one sentence,
He blamed
in one
labor.
thought, he said
One breath.
that it wasn't sexual harassment, it was labor. It's the employee's fault for all the harassment.
Despite people being fired for sexual harassment, paying fines for sexual harassment.
That's correct. But it was labor's
I
fault.
want to know all the possible forms of investigation.
Yeah,
Like-
all of them.
Well, they're all.
I had an anal probe. I had somebody like hit that little hammer on my knee.
The knee jerk.
It didn't. There was no harassment there. Like it had all the forms, but it was this line that got me going, because he said they point out in the article that he has no control of his company through voting rights, and his quote is: "This is Bobby Kotick talking to
Another mistake.
Variety magazine." He says, "Quote." No board of directors in a non-controlled company is going to allow the CEO of an enterprise to stay running the enterprise if those things were truthful.
Except for this one.
Wow.
Except for, this is a board sabermetrics,
Yeah.
you are an asshole moment.
Can't
Yeah.
say that.
Because Bobby Kotick, according to board sabermetrics data, 56% of the board influence.
Yep.
His best friend, Brian Kelly, who's his actual best friend. Like they went to college together. I think they were roommates. Like they actually are best friends. Was been on Kotick's board for 27 years.
Jeez.
Wow.
And has 14% of the influence.
Definitely independent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the ranking of best friends, Bob Morgado is maybe his second BFF,
Oh.
and he has 12% of the influence. He's been on
God.
the board for 25 years.
Wow. So right there is
And-
that right there is an 82%
That's your whole
influence
board right
block.
there.
Get this: there's a third Bob,
Oh,
Bob Cordy, who's been on the board for 19 years. He's only got 3% influence. All three of those people have never been on another board. This is basically their only job. This is what they do. So Board Sabermetrics says, like, not only do you have like your three best friends on the board, you've been with them for 20 plus years, but none of them have another job. Like they all just hang out with you. So it's like a
Wow.
band, three Bobs and a Brian. They've been together for this long.
Systemic
85% of the
band
board
of-
power.
harassing assholes.
So let's recap the quote.
Yeah.
No board of directors in a non-controlled company is going to allow the CEO of an enterprise to stay running the enterprise if those things were truthful. Well, what if that board of directors are all your best
Well,
friends?
did you drop the
What
part where it says
fucking asshole are
did you
you?
drop the part that said except Activision Blizzard?
He did not add that to the quote.
Yeah,
So,
I have a similar stat later on in the show, and it's very similar to what you just pointed out, Matt. And this, to me, this is one of the number one reasons why you would use board sabermetrics and buy board sabermetrics, because you go to I went to MSCI for my ownership data. Nothing against MSCI, but it doesn't tell the full picture. Just your ownership stake does not tell the picture of who actually controls these companies.
yeah, because it's not a controlled company.
And
It's
MSCI,
one
and
share,
again,
one
nothing
vote.
against MSCI, ISS, all those companies. They have no way of capturing who actually controls these
No, it's
companies.
okay. We can just be better. So, number one was Mark. Number two is Bobby. They're coming back home.
How
to
you
roost in
gonna
asshole of the
gonna
week.
create a bigger asshole than Bobby? How?
Here's how.
All right.
And this is the clean sweep.
No, I don't know.
I'm going to say this is possibly the assholiest headline duo of all time.
Okay,
and
go
I am
ahead.
not
Go
exaggerating.
ahead.
First headline. AI chatbot will replace human helpline workers at National Eating Disorder Association.
I don't
we
get
talked about
that.
this on the show yesterday.
I don't get that.
So there are a half dozen or a dozen employees at National Eating Disorder Association.
Mm-hmm.
They have an information line for people with eating disorders. They agreed to unionize because they were so burnt out. So
They were
the
fired.
association fired
Oh.
them and replaced them with an AI chatbot.
Oh, like it's so depressing.
1 day later,
Yeah.
this headline, National Eating Disorders Association disabled AI chatbot after it gave dieting advice.
Ooh.
Oh,
During a 35-minute
Oh.
exchange with a user, the AI recommended tracking her calorie intake
I do
and
that.
daily weigh-ins,
yeah.
according to
weigh-ins.
screenshots. And the AI said a realistic weight loss goal is 1 to 2 pounds a week. This is the advice it's giving to
Oh.
people with eating disorders,
Who
anorexia,
programmed this
bulimia, It said lose
Oh my
some weight.
God.
It left out, the AI did
Oh
not
my
say
God.
lose weight fatty, but I mean, are we or like this is we
But that is what the person
we
would
hope
read.
to,
And how
we
is
hope
this-
to fucking replace the humans with this.
And Matt, how was this reported? Did the user complain and then they shut it down, or were they monitoring the?
They shut it down after media started testing the
Okay.
chatbot,
Right.
and it
Yeah, they
started.
put it on social media.
and-
It went viral.
People were putting it on social media.
What a
and
weird
saying,
idea!
like,
What a terrible weird idea.
so
What a terrible idea.
they get an AI chatbot to replace humans who want to unionize because they're burnt out, and they use AI and they say, "Fine, we can do this with AI," and then like within the same week, they have to turn the AI chatbot off because it's telling anorexics and bulimics to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week.
why couldn't they at least hire Hollywood writers to man to run the lines, to run the?
All
phone
I'm
lines?
saying is I'm not sure you can top that for
Well,
Ass Holier this week.
I agree, but it's actually not my vote. I mean, come on, you
Aw.
threw like red meat at me by bringing Bobby back in my world, so I can't. That his quote and the one that the part that you focused on and your data that backed it up, like I can't. To me, I can't
the
go beyond that.
Bobfluence.
I just like
3 bobs and a
I read
bride.
several articles on this, just that his like post-truth way of just like denying anything happened is it's maddening.
gaslighty.
And especially since it's not like he's not like denying that like the AA batteries they made didn't last as long as they promised. Like this is like sexual harassment running rampant through his workforce. I mean, this is like
Yeah.
serious stuff.
I mean, lest we forget, we covered it here. The Cosby Suite
Yeah.
was a thing that they
this
had.
is serious,
Gross.
serious stuff. I
Gross.
mean, for him to just deny it and to blame the labor movement, just like the national, what is it, eating
The
disorder
National
association.
Eating Disorder
Everyone's just
Association.
mad at the labor for everything. So they're
Yeah, it's it's our employees' fault.
Ugh.
So those are your 3: Mark, Bobby, and National Eating Disorder Association AI.
Well, I'm sorry to ruin your clean sweep, but I'm going Bobby Kotick.
Wow.
Wow. Well, the last one is such a train wreck from the beginning with the union busting that ends up with your chatbot doing the one thing they shouldn't be doing. Like this
Only
is
thing.
just the dumbest
Unbelievable.
unfolding of events ever. So that's my vote.
It is
for sure.
horrible, too, because it's a non-profit organization. Labor probably wants a bit more benefits, a bit more pay. Why not just, like, write another
had-
grant and help pay these people? Like, what's
They
the
had
big deal? What's the big
seven
deal?
full-time employees and something like several hundred volunteers. who
Host
would take
another
phone calls.
fundraiser. How about that? Like, is
they-
that a big deal?
It's something. So Jesse, you got a tiebreaker here.
Yeah, I'm going with the
Shredded Mark.
National Eating Disorder
Oh,
Association
boo. You're both
story.
wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
Both
I
wrong.
feel like it really highlights our misunderstanding of mental health problems too in America, because to think that you're gonna substitute an AI chatbot, like I had this in Exhaustingness before I realized Matt had it, but like it's just totally misunderstanding that these people also need human connection and the connection of meeting with a real person on a chat line. Like you're on this chat line because you are in probably one of your most vulnerable states. Like this is one of your last ditch efforts to try to find information about this. And you're just going to be talking to a bot that is further going to just give you the worst information you could possibly get.
It sounds like you're saying AI is not capable of empathy.
No,
which
right, exactly.
Yeah.
makes me uncomfortable as a tech
But
startup.
where you're both wrong is it doesn't highlight our data.
I understand that.
Damien's just selling. All right, that means we're back to Exhaustingness of the week because we have an asshole, and that asshole is AI.
Oh, it's not Jesse? Oh. You're lucky, Bobby. He's somehow avoided. Yeah. Jesse. Oh, back from
right.
Scandinavia. The great Jesse Scanlon.
I am. I'm back. I'm here to exhaust you. And I have a couple
Mission
of...
accomplished.
I think all of these topics are things that I have touched upon, but we're going to revisit them because, again, this is exhausting us.
Well, it feels like a big rehash week. Bobby and Mark are back in assholes.
Yeah.
Batteries are back in India.
Oh, batteries are always
Elizabeth
back.
Holmes is back in Story of the Week. And
Yeah.
now you're going to talk
AI
about...
chatbots are being unempathetic.
Please tell me that microplastics are somewhere in exhausting us.
Well,
Forever
PFAS
chemicals,
are.
maybe.
Forever
PFAS are,
chemicals.
so
All right. Thank
you're going to be
God.
happy.
Yes.
All right. First
Forever chemicals.
headline. Okay, the audience is rowdy today. First headline, understanding the motherhood penalty and what it means for women's finances.
Oh, boy.
So, obviously, this isn't new. We know that women's careers are affected by taking time off if they want to start their family during their career and time in the workforce. But there's been a recent Harvard study that's come out, which is what this article is based on, and it reveals that hiring managers are less likely to hire mothers than women that don't have kids.
What?
Hide
And
your
the same
kids.
Study
Yeah.
reveals that
When that kid comes out, you
fathers
put it in a box.
Hide it. You don't tell anyone.
Fathers.
You take off your wedding ring.
don't pay the same penalty.
I'm kidding.
So this is very one-sided. And further, one thing that this article highlights is that it actually impacts the mother's long-term wealth,
Of course.
which is exacerbated by the fact that women live longer than men.
Oh.
So not only do
Aw.
we not have the chance
Get life
to-
insurance on your heterosexual partner, women.
Yeah, so we don't have the chance to earn and amass as much wealth over our careers as men do. And we live longer. So what the hell? What does that leave us doing? We're going to just be sitting
work a little
around in our
longer.
house eating Cheerios and ramen.
Here's
at
what you
80?
do. Here's what you do. You get a great life
Mixed
insurance,
together.
great life insurance plan on your partner, and you put Forever Chemicals in their cereal.
Here's
I have different pans for Rob to use while
Exactly.
he cooks than I use.
Here's what I
Exactly.
don't understand about this data. Well, really anything. If I'm incredibly heteronormative about this, the majority of heterosexual relationships, women end up being primary caregivers of their children. If you can juggle children,
Yeah.
how the fuck shouldn't you have every
Great
job? You
multitasker at work.
I mean, you could do, like, most of the men I know can only do one thing at a time, and they do it mediocre.
I was going to say, I could barely
So
do
that
0.4 things at once.
their partners end up doing more of it. Like my wife, because I'm the caregiver, her classic thing is she like badly loads the dishwasher, badly does the laundry, and then is like, oh, I'll get it done eventually. And meanwhile, I end up doing it all. So why are we hiring all these people?
I know.
Yeah, Jesse knows, Matt.
You don't have to preach to the choir here.
All right, come on. I'm exhausted.
All right. Second headline, fast fashion's curious comeback.
Wait, it went away?
It was away for like a
Yeah.
minute.
Apparently it did for a hot second.
Oh.
But here's the thing
I
that
don't
I'm
like this
picking up
headline.
on
Yeah.
out of this. So one of the first lines of this article is saying that they polled Gen Zers
Okay.
and their first choice shopping destination for going out clothes is Shein. That's their number
Oh,
one pick.
I didn't even know that's how you
Which-
pronounced it. That's how stupid I am.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know
Just
we
think of what
covered.
shine.
Yeah, I would have said shine.
It ends with an N.
Well, yeah.
I don't know much about
Okay.
that company. Is it?
That's not what's important
Yeah.
here.
Well, no, it is because we are
It is.
we are
We have
free
no
flow.
idea.
We are obsessed with companies. and
This
boards.
was actually my prediction for the year that fast fashion was going down. So
Yeah.
Please
all
let
right.
Justin
Oh, that's
prediction.
true. That's true.
Ari's
Wrong.
getting nervous over here because my headline says it's having a comeback. Well, let me just explain to
Yeah.
you that one of the viral trends on TikTok are Gen Zers getting these massive packages of Shein clothes and like dumping them out and trying them all on. Like they'll get
What
50,
the fuck is TikTok?
Oh my
60
God.
things
I hate
and
viral
try them
shit.
on and they can afford it because they're like $2 to $5, $8 each. So it's terrible.
Okay.
But what I'm picking up on this is that this is the same generation where in all of the studies prioritizes sustainability and the environment. So I'm really confused where the disconnect is here. Like, oh, you really need to look hot going out? Is it because we have hot chat 3000s and we need to look so hot going out that
I was a 7.4 on hot chat.
Jesse's unraveling.
Those values
I'm
out
not
the
worried
window?
about that at all.
I'm confused. What the hell, Gen Z?
This is why the Republicans and conservatives say that it's all virtue signaling. That's why they say that, right?
It's just exhausting. I mean, obviously, I'm exhausted.
Isn't this a Chinese company?
Yes,
Can we ban them?
Shein is a
Can we
Chinese
ban them with
company.
TikTok?
Oh yeah, ban them like TikTok.
Yep.
Oh, well, just why don't we just ban everything
China.
coming out of China? Just
ban China.
China. And after we're done with China,
That
we can
gets rid
ban
of
somewhere
all
else.
Problem is they'll still be manufacturing.
Yeah, but then it won't say it's a Chinese company, and we'll feel better about it.
Anyways.
American-made garbage clothing.
I'm just confused. I'm
trash.
confused that Gen Zers can't make this connection and can't chill the hell out when they need to find they're going out. Just
give them a
borrow
break.
a friend.
Hey, Jesse, give them a
Borrow
break. They didn't
friend's
create the
clothes.
problems they're facing, so give them a break, all right?
Let's just bring back like trading clothes. You know, when you would like steal your siblings' clothes or your friends.
Maybe if they were infected with a motherhood penalty, they could afford better clothes, and
They couldn't buy investment
They
pieces.
could go to Goodwill.
All right, next and last headline, one of the nearest and dearest issues to my heart.
Oh, no.
The companies behind Forever Chemicals, which I've covered ad nauseum, covered up the dangers for decades.
Of course.
For decades. They knew. And they
Who's
decided
this?
not to
3M?
reveal it.
Yeah.
So just like big
DuPont.
tobacco, just like big oil, companies like DuPont and 3M knew the threat to
That's
the
right.
environment,
They knew.
to the public, and they covered it up. How do you guys feel about that?
Not great.
I feel
Exhausted.
like isn't that par for the course?
Yeah.
I don't feel exhausted by
They've
that.
known it
Don't?
since the 60s.
Yeah, they've known about climate change for almost as long. So the scientists in the 30s were talking about climate change, and they've known about like big tobacco.
I was going to say,
too. I don't
yeah,
know.
it's hard to beat big tobacco at this game.
Yeah.
Well,
this
let
is-
me just read a direct quote and
All right,
maybe
go
it
ahead.
will sway you.
It's not going to.
DuPont had evidence of PFAS toxicity from internal animal and occupational studies that they did not publish in the scientific literature and failed to report their findings to the EPA as required
Not surprising.
under the Toxic Substances Control Act. These documents were all marked as confidential, and in some cases, industry executives are explicit that they wanted this memo destroyed.
Oh, but it was just a memo. It wasn't a report. It was
Where
a
were
memo.
the whistleblowers? I'm a little
Making-
disappointed.
Is so messed
Is that a
up.
They were
generational
too busy
thing?
dumping out 60 outfits from Shein.
Plus, there weren't
or Shine or
whistleblower
whatever.
protections then.
I just don't
Who
even know.
needs
Like, it's
protections to
harmful
stand
for
up
all
for
their
what's right?
employees, and then they see it getting. Well, I mean, obviously they're profiting from it being disseminated into all, like our makeup, our toilet paper, our food.
But Jesse,
our
are you
cooking
really
utensils.
are you surprised by this or
Don't
just
wear
exhausted by
makeup and
this?
Wipe less.
I'm not surprised. I'm
Okay.
exhausted by
Okay.
it. I gotta keep talking about it because nobody. I'm not nobody, but we aren't realizing how pervasive it is. Like literally just months ago,
Mm-hmm.
the EPA set limits on how much PFAS could be in our water. It's in our drinking
Yeah.
water. Like every time you take a sip
That's
of
why
water,
it tastes so good.
just
Wait.
be like, "Hey, PFAS."
Jesse, you're not allowed to
Hey.
Jesse, you have to let the headlines do the talking, do the exhausting. You're not allowed to then exhaust us by keep going on.
That's the
I
idea.
thought that's what I was
That's
here
No,
for.
you're tricky. You're being too tricky here.
All right.
But to me, this is an easy vote for me. Easy.
Here's your roundup. The motherhood penalty, fast fashions come back.
Easy.
And PFA cover up.
No
Beef
doubt for me. It's
Okay, you go
motherhood
first.
penalty. No doubt. Motherhood
Really?
penalty.
Interesting. Mine is fast fashion.
All right, Matt.
Oh wow, it comes down to me, huh? Well,
I mean, penalizing
I'm not-
women for giving life. Come on, what are we doing here?
I don't understand.
Well, there
But-
is no world if that stops.
But look, the story of the reason why Gen Z is interested in fast fashion is for TikTok, right? Like it's almost
Yeah,
like
it's cheap and it's cheap.
Yeah, sure, but it doesn't it make it more terrible when you just fuse it with terrible social media? That to
Yes.
me is
Sure.
exhausting. The motherhood
Yes.
penalty we've known about for a million years, and
That's why I'm
it's
exhausted.
terrible,
That's why
and
I'm
I'm not
exhausted.
exhausted because we have gender power gap data, and we can show some level of like
Yeah, and I'm exhausted by it. Thank you.
and forever chemicals being covered up. It's like, of course they were covered up.
I just don't want to
everything's
give.
covered
I don't
up.
want to give Jesse a win on that one. I can't.
I'm actually excited for what Free Float covers up eventually. What should we cover up eventually? Like there's got to be something. So I'm going to go with fast fashion.
Oh.
That's what I'm going to go with, and that is the correct answer.
That is
Damien,
the correct answer.
Wrong.
Ari, and Matt. Damien.
Who would have you voted for, Jesse? What
Ari
would have been
Matt.
your story of the week there? Too
Too
late. Let's move on.
I don't know.
All right. Let's move on, Matt.
She's exhausted.
When she said I knew we were in
Yeah,
trouble.
It wasn't
I
fast
like them
enough.
all. That's why I picked them.
Come on.
Here we go.
Winners.
Who won the week?
I think Jesse just won the week.
Jesse did not win the week. I have Board Sabermetrics as the winner of
Why?
the week because of this quote. No board of directors in a non-controlled company is going to allow the CEO of an enterprise to stay running the enterprise if those things were truthful. Thank you, Bobby Kotick,
Fair.
Well,
for
let me
reminding us why Board Sabermetrics
Why
wins
we're needed.
all the time.
Well, let me go next because mine is actually pretty similar. So my winner is Constellation Brands, which so because of this whole woke war nonsense, American beer companies like Bud Light, American beer brands, they're going to be losing to a Mexican beer.
oh,
right?
I love that. Which do we hate more,
So
woke or Mexicans?
the
That's what we-
distributor of Mexican beer, and I'm mostly looking at Corona, is Constellation Brands. They distribute it here in the U.S. Constellation Brands is actually the Sands brothers, and according to
Aw.
your regular ESG data, like MSCI data, the Sands brothers only own 14% of the ownership. So what's the big deal, right? They don't control anything. But according to our data, the Sands brothers have a combined 71% influence over Constellation Brands. So there you
Nicely done.
They should just change the name to
Sands brothers, absolutely. That's
Yep,
my
well,
winner.
I got the North Face as
Woo.
the winner of the week here.
Ooh.
Why?
No.
Because it's summer?
The parallel with Bud Light and their whole debacle
Mhm.
with inauthentic marketing, it just makes the North Face look good and makes Bud Light
Wait,
and
why?
companies like Bud Light look even worse.
Why are they in the
Because-
news? What happened?
Well, Matt, take it away.
Yeah, they
They doubled down.
they
Yeah.
they
Ari
got
only
canceled
partially paid attention
excited.
by the anti-woke
yesterday.
because they have a trans
Okay.
or no, a drag performer
Sure.
who's selling their Summer of Pride campaign. This
Okay.
is the second year she's done it. So obviously the anti-woke went bananas and said cancel the North Face. But the North Face actually just doubled down. Instead of saying it was just like one Instagram post, it was one
Mhm.
can. The
They
North
said,
Face
"F
said
you."
2 cans.
basically F you. Yeah.
All right. Anyone else?
And
Jesse?
Yeah, I have a winner. It's actually Patagonia.
Ooh.
North Face's
Not the
rival.
drag performer.
I know
Not
why.
Patagonia.
I know
Yeah.
why you picked Patagonia. Go ahead.
Why?
Because I tagged an article where they are the most trusted brand in the country, no?
Yeah, they have the best
Wow.
reputation.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most trusted brand in
Well,
the country.
when you give away your company to the planet, you kind of.
Yeah,
I
Kinda
love
helps.
it. Love Patagonia.
Predictions.
I'll go.
I have a really long prediction.
Yeah, I'm going to go first, go quickly, because I want to plug our Fringe show again if anyone actually listens to this show. So we'll be performing 4 shows in Portland, Maine, Business Pants Corporate Theater. And my prediction is that our sketch is going to be so horribly boring that someone's going to punch me in the face.
Yes.
Aw.
I mean, here's the
Can it be
rub.
me?
Here's the weird part of the sketch,
Can I do it?
which I'm very uncomfortable about, is that we're trying to be boring. So it's really, it's going to be a nightmare.
I mean,
Do
in
you think it's
fairness, the name of the sketch is The Boring Company.
Yeah, so we are satiring Elon Musk's The Boring Company because they have, according to all news reports and their website, they have accomplished basically nothing. So we are satiring that company, and the sketch it's hard to even rehearse. It's so boring. So I hope you come out and support us.
Hopefully, it's not one of us that punches you.
No, it's fine. I don't
That's a
care.
sell.
I want my prediction to come true, so it's fine.
You don't usually hear cells like that.
All All right. Well, I predict this year's hottest Christmas gift.
Wait, we're on
Ooh,
Christmas.
a Christmas
So
gift in June.
Can the Jews tune out right now? Can I go make my lunch?
Well, Hanukkah, don't you have like 7
Oh
days of
right,
gifts
okay,
or
yeah,
whatever?
sure,
So
okay,
yeah,
Hanukkah,
It gets
right.
expensive.
Christmas Junior,
so
you mean?
this
Yeah.
is more like Christmas appropriate, I think.
Uh-huh.
It was unveiled yesterday on Insta by Mark Zuckerberg. Zuck showed us his new VR headset. Apple is
Ooh.
revealing their new headset next week,
Right.
but Zuck's headset will start at $500 compared to Apple's estimated $3,000.
Wow.
But we know,
So
but Apple's will be better, obviously, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have Mark
Obviously.
Zuckerberg controlling every decision, so.
Right. So I believe that this coming Christmas, Meta's
Stop saying
Quest
Christmas.
3 will be the most buy now, pay latered item.
Oh,
You think people are
that's
going to
the
buy
prediction.
this? You think people are interested in this crap?
I don't only think people are going to buy this. I think they're going to buy now, pay later.
Okay.
It's gonna be all the targeted
It's a
ads
weird
on
prediction.
Instagram.
It's a very weird prediction. All right.
There's multiple layers there.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack.
Can I go first? Can I go next?
Yeah.
You can go
before
first.
talk
Yeah, go
forever?
first.
Okay, after my prediction, after riding in Matt's new Ionic, I'm gonna be even more depressed that my husband leased.
That
it.
is correct.
Why can't you
will
give your
be.
Tesla back? I don't understand you.
Yeah, you're going to be even
I
more
think it's
depressed.
expensive.
Give
to
it
break a
back.
lease. I don't know.
Give it back. Hey, I'm
All right.
excited, Matt. I looked up your new car. I think I might be joining the Hyundai.
Me
the
too.
Hyundai Wave.
The Hyundais are, look, I'm not a shill, and it's a great car.
Yeah.
It's really good, and I don't care about cars. All right, here's my really long prediction.
Oh, God.
Ready?
Yeah.
Strap in. An anti-woke Twitterer will read that Ruger, the
Yeah.
firearms manufacturer, has an ethics policy somewhere buried on their website, and I found it and I've linked to it, that includes a discrimination and harassment clause that states, quote, the company's legal compliance requirements include prohibiting discrimination against any employer applicant for their gender, gender identity, gender expression, pregnancy, sexual orientation. This will get them furious. They will then proceed to shoot their Ruger guns with Smith & Wesson guns before realizing that Smith & Wesson has an ESG charter, which establishes an ESG committee at the board that focuses on, among other things, diversity and inclusion. And the anti-woke will obviously have no choice at this point, since all their guns are woke. But to
Oh, wait, how do you
blow their
shoot your
up-
guns? How's Kid Rock going to shoot his gun?
It'd be a great video.
Yeah.
But to blow their guns up using a landmine, just to be safe. So they got to go find landmines. However, they actually find out that Olin, who's one of the largest manufacturers of landmines,
Oh,
has
no.
a sustainability strategy
Oh,
that
no.
includes, quote, upholding our Olin values and governance standards as we amplify our culture of inclusion
Oh, no.
and cultivate our diverse
Oh, no.
workforce. At this point, every anti-woker dies. Just like the zombies at the end of World War Z. They like starve to death outside, trying to breathe in because they realize the gays are everywhere. They're just everywhere.
You should perform this at the Fringe show.
I'm saying this
Matt can do it solo.
this is the next. Have the corporate theater do this
I'm
next.
exhausted.
because there's a lot going on here.
That's a big
it.
prediction.
That's my prediction. That's our Friday show. That's Damian Rollis and Ari the Data Queen and Jesse the Money Whisperer. I am full of BS. Until next week. Next week I'm only here Monday, probably not Friday, maybe. But most of the week I'm gone. So you'll just have these rubes to deal with. Until then, goodbye.